the last Spec Ops game? When did that come out? How long has it been?
Oh, I think the last Spec Ops game was maybe 10, possibly even 12 years ago, I think on the PlayStation 1. The thing you got to realize, though, while this does share the same franchise name, this is an entirely new departure off of those games. There's not even anyone on the team that worked on those that has worked on Spec Ops The Line. This is, we've completely reimagined and relaunched the franchise with a brand new, fresh start. What the overall story of Spec Ops is that the city of Dubai has been ravaged by cataclysmic sandstorm. Colonel John Conrad, commander of the Dam 33rd, went in to help with the evacuation. But when they were caravanning the last people out and this massive storm hits, everyone is considered dead. 6 months later, you hear a distress signal coming out of the city, and they send you, Captain Martin Walker, in charge of a 3-man recon team, into the city to see if there are any survivors. What you find is there are survivors, but they're still in the grip of war with each other. And as you go in trying to find Conrad, getting caught up in just the madness and the insanity that's gripped the city at this point. What we wanted to do with this is, instead of telling that larger global conflict, is tell a personal story about the soldiers, what happens when they go into combat, when they go into war. The overall theme of Spec Ops is what happens to really good men when you put them into an increasingly bad situation, and what they're willing to sacrifice, and you as the player are willing to sacrifice, whether it be to complete your mission, to save people, or even just to save yourself. There are many moral choices in the game. Now the thing is, the moral choices in Spec Ops are different than what gamers have come to expect from moral choices in games. We didn't want to create a systemic kind of choice that just pops up over and over, A for good, B for bad. This one you get a gun, this one you get faction points. In Spec Ops, the choices have been grown organically out of the narrative. We want the player to look at these choices and think, not should I do A or B, but am I the type of person that's going to do what the video game presents to me, or am I the type of person who's going to do what I'm comfortable with? Am I going to think outside of the box? Spec Ops The Line gets to the heart of these characters. This is about, you're going to watch Walker and Adams and Lugo, you're going to see them go on a journey that you haven't seen characters in a video game go on yet. You are going to see men truly break down. And at the end of that game, it's up to you to decide whether or not it was worth it, whether or not these men are heroes, or villains, or something in between. We're not trying to make the gamers feel one specific thing. It's a space, an emotional space for them to inhabit and bring their own, morals and their own experiences into the game and decide how this game made them feel and why. We want them to think about what it means when they pull a trigger on a controller and the character they're controlling in the game pulls a trigger on a gun and someone dies. Spec Ops, it's an entirely new type of military game that people just aren't really totally prepared for. And we're really excited for them to finally get their hands on it.